always had great fighters.
Yeah, tough
Turn
fucking
of the
people.
century.
You think Conor's gonna come back?
I hope so, because he's fun. I hope he comes back. But I think, honestly, like when boxers come back from a long layoff and they come back from a loss, one thing that boxers do that's smart is they have a tune-up fight.
Tune-up fight.
I think there's a reason why they've been using tune-up fights forever. Like astute managers, they know you got to knock the dust off and you'll be better in the next performance.
Yeah.
To jump right into a Dustin Poirier or right into, name it, Michael Chandler, like right into a guy who's like at the elite of the elite. I think, I think what Conor needs to do is what Conor wants to do. If Conor thinks he can go up and fight Usman, and make a big payday and try to become a 3-division champion, he should do that. He should do whatever he wants to do. But if I was like a manager to him and I said, what's the best path to success? The best path to success is like the Cowboy fight. No disrespect to Cowboy, but that fight turned out to be kind of like a warm-up fight. Being Conor's he's a ferocious striker, and he took Cowboy out in the first round. That doesn't mean that...
Cowboy's exciting, though.
Cowboy's very exciting, but that's why that fight was a great fight, because Cowboy didn't run from him. He met him head-on and got caught. But if Conor wants the most chance of success, I would say fight a guy who is a little below championship level, maybe a guy on the come-up, who, like, Conor has an advantage over, but it's still a competitive fight. Give him a test, but don't put him in there like right away with Usman. And especially, like, who knows what's going on with his leg. But if you're a guy who just wants to make the most amount of money is fighting Usman. And that's the most amount of challenge. Yeah. That's probably the most amount of fear he's going to face.
But if you're going to do it, let's do it right. Let's get a tune-up.
If he's going to fight Usman,
right.
Yeah, that's a scary-ass fight.
If you're
fighting
to win, if you're fighting to win, let's get a tune-up.
Yeah. That is the guy that nobody called out. When Usman was the contender and he was making his way through the ranks, everybody shut the fuck up. There was nobody calling for that guy. I mean, nobody. Yeah. And I would talk about it with DC once. I go, you know who nobody calls for? Nobody calls for Usman.
Nigerian Nightmare.
He was like, fuck that. They don't want none of that. They don't want none of that. He was just steamrolling people. Yeah. And it was the way he was doing it. Like, they didn't have a chance. Everybody was getting mauled. There was no close fights. It was just maulings. It was just a series of maulings. And
that's the fight for Covington?
Yeah. Well, once he knocked out Masvidal with one punch, that's when everybody's like, "Oh Jesus!" Like now he's better in his striking. It's like his striking has reached like a super elite level.
I didn't think he was so much bigger
than Colby.
No, Masvidal.
Than Masvidal? Yeah, he's bigger. He's bigger than everybody. Well, Masvidal used to fight at 55. Usman's never making 55. He's the perfect size to make 170. He can get down to 170, and then he rehydrates back up to probably, if I had to guess, he's probably in the high 90s.
Who should he fight? Who should he fight?
He should fight anybody. I would like to see him fight Canelo. I really would. Not because I think that he's a favorite in a boxing match against one of the greatest boxers of all time, but I want to see him get a giant payday. The same way I would like to see Ngannou fight Tyson Fury. That's a way you can make a shitload of money. And I don't think it damages his potential as a UFC fighter. I think it would be invaluable experience for him as a champion if he did have that fight and then came back over to MMA. I think it'd probably be even better as a striker if he gets through it relatively undamaged, even if he loses. And he's one of those guys.
He's gonna feel some pain.
He's gonna feel some pain. It's not the same sport, but he's a dude that he knows how to win. Like I told you about his knees. You have to understand this guy's mindset. His knees are destroyed. He had like that micro smash where they smash it to try to resurface it. It didn't work. It made it worse. Like his knees are fucked. But he doesn't care. Like he just doesn't run, but he never runs out of cardio. Like everything he does is just drive. It's all plyometrics and all the strength and conditioning shit he does in the gym. He's doing it with fucked up knees. All the wrestling drills he's doing with fucked up knees.
Know what the biggest lesson I learned in fighting?
What?
That it's not a tough man sport. It's a thinking man sport, and that a tough man's gonna get really hurt in this sport.
It's true. You have to be smart.
It's gonna get really hurt in this game. He's going to get really hurt. A tough guy, the guy that everybody's scared of, he's going to get hurt in this boxing game because this is all about thinking.
Yeah. But you have to be you have to be tough, but you also have to not ever want to prove that you're tough.
Exactly.
You got to be just proving you're skillful.
Exactly.
And always fight the best way.
It never turns out right. I don't care how much you love this guy. The guy takes a lot of punches. You don't turn out right.
Never turns out right. It never turns out right, and it's sad when it becomes like their calling cards that they get in wars, and then the fans want wars.
Then they get sick, might commit suicide, some stuff.
So like,
Brain
there was a
might get
lot of
affected.
people that loved the trilogy between Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti, right? I mean, they're amazing fights,
Yeah.
but not good for you.
But it's
right?
chemistry,
Right?
You know,
Not good for you. Those are not good. Those are not good for you. Like those are the kind of fights that they stay with you for a long
those fights,
time.
those guys, it's just chemistry. They can never have
Oh
an
my
easy
God.
fight. If they're 100 years old, their fights will be
But
death-defying.
didn't Gotti switch it up on one of the fights? I think it was the
Start
last
boxing,
fight.
right?
Started and boxed him. See, that was where you got to see the difference between Floyd Mayweather and everybody else. When Floyd Mayweather fought Gotti, and you go like, oh,
Yeah.
you
Defense
know?
impeccable.
There's levels. There's
levels.
levels. That's one of the most
Gotti said
amazing
he tried to
things
hit him
about
to the
fighting.
body, couldn't hit him to the
Yeah,
body.
couldn't hit him.
Moved his body.
Defense is crazy.
So skillful.
Couldn't even hit him to the body even. You know, some of the great fights take your punch. Move.